Very
No.
nice.
I didn't.
Great success.
What's
I don't even know the title. It's
a new
so
Borat
long.
movie
Yeah.
or a new like
No,
Sacha Baron Cohen film?
Yeah, new Sacha Baron Cohen Borat movie.
So it's an actual Borat movie.
Yes. They already finished filming it.
Oh my god. What, Borat 2?
The name is like a paragraph. I'm not even kidding. The name of the movie.
I haven't seen. Did the trailer come out?
No, not yet. But it'd be
I
interesting.
love any of this
I
stuff.
fucking
It's
love
so
it.
funny. Didn't Borat, the first one, come out like
2008
years ago?
or 9, I think. I
Dude,
remember I
that
was
was-
still in high school. Very nice.
Where he wears that, like, what is it, that fucking, like, mankini, like, the super green, he's got the bush, he's, like, super hairy.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that stuff's good.
Did we start?
Yeah, we
Recording?
started a
Oh,
while
cool.
ago.
All right.
We've been talking.
All right. Well, welcome to episode what?
13, I think
13.
it is. Yeah.
Damn.
Baby. So, we had a week off last week
Yep.
due to some stuff, and just to have a bit of a break as well. Things were...
Good to be back though.
It's super good to be
Feeling
back.
energetic. I
Yeah,
feel like this
totally.
should be a fun, wacky, a little
Episode.
off the rails, but also pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, hey, mate, garbage truck.
Garbage truck.
Come back.
We
He's
should.
going to become a character in our podcast. People are going to be like, where's the garbage truck?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've just spent, I don't know, the last 15 minutes watching just blow your mind space stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I've come across a few videos yesterday and the day before. I sent you a few. You said you'd watch some, and they're really fun little kiddie cartoon, like, mind-blowing, though. Like,
Yeah. Well, what is it about? You want to? It's about.
I think we'll get into it though, but
Okay.
it's all crazy shit. Like, what would a alien civilization look like
Yeah.
if they use the same like laws of nature as we did, or behave the same way as we did, and then what if they didn't? Crazy shit like that, and then
And then the history of the universe,
History of
and
the
how it
universe,
started, and that's
which
an
is
awesome
insane.
video. Definitely check it out. Type in entire history of the universe on YouTube.
it's like a
Sick-ass
10-minute video,
Yeah.
and as you're watching it, down the bottom right and left, there's these two little like, there's one that says age of the universe, and then like time, like how many billions of years ago
Yeah,
to this point,
Yeah.
or something like that.
yeah.
And it's like every frame.
Every second is like
Every-
22 million years or something passes in
So
the
you
video.
just see the number going, brrrr,
Yeah.
and it's just playing. And because I think the idea is that the universe is around 13 billion years old,
Yeah.
or something. That's the number they use. I don't know how you find that out.
Science. We're not a scientist.
Someone got
so.
super shit-faced on
You're up
DMT
to-
one time, and an alien came down and told him.
Yeah,
It's like,
legit.
mate,
Yeah, there are a lot of
13.
smart people out there. But, watching that video made me think, watching the entire history of the world and, where it's going to go. Man, if the world was going to end in our lifetime, right? How do you... Okay, one, I want to ask you two questions. One, how do you think it will end, right? And two, how would you want it to end? So I want one more
you
of
want the
a
first one?
realistic sort of answer.
and then
your...
out of the box. kind
Yeah.
of. Right.
Your hopes and dreams on how this entire universe would...
Okay, so first, how do I think it's going to end?
Yeah. This world, like, let's say humanity.
In our
The
time.
planet
Or
Earth.
just a way it could end.
Yeah, a way that it could end. And then if it was to end in our lifetime, how would you want it to end?
Okay.
The same way
So
you're
most
predicting,
likely in
or-
my head, the most realistic way is that an asteroid's going to probably hit. That's probably the most realistic way. Another crazy way would be if the sun just decided to explode and just vaporize all the planets. Or,
Let's out a little fart or something and we're just fucking...
yeah, let's have
Get
a little,
cooked.
a tiny, like it's nothing,
Yeah.
but it's like fucking so huge compared to us, and we just get swallowed up in a little solar flare. You know what I mean? That's probably the most realistic way. I've heard people say, smart people, smarter than us, say that the asteroids are probably the biggest threat, and that a lot of them think, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson said himself that he thinks we need to put money into like a space force that counters meteorites and asteroids and shit.
Like some giant laser
Like to
thing,
deflect them or destroy
Yeah.
them, because he's like, that's probably the biggest. I mean, they're everywhere,
Yeah.
so that's probably the biggest thing. If I wanted the way I would want it to end, would be that I would still be here when the Andromeda galaxy is coming,
Ooh.
and I see it, and it's just this huge galaxy just coming
Taking
towards us.
selfies with it.
And you're just like, oh, did you check this out? And then when it collides with our universe,
Yeah.
it's just like, who the fuck knows what happens? And then what would be even more insane if that joining of the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy doesn't destroy us, but we just get fucking sent in like some vacuum just spinning around these galaxies, and we see shit you've never seen before.
Yeah,
and like our night sky, because like as we're spinning through these galaxies, it's all happening very fast, but for us it's happening very slow in the grand scheme of, you know, the scale of these universes, because the Andromeda and the Milky Way collide, it creates like the fucking super galaxy. It's bigger than we can think. So as we're flying through it, we see like other planets coming past, and like there's just Jupiter's got you know what I mean, or some planet we've never seen before just comes, or like you just see there like an asteroid go past, or you know, the Andromeda Galaxy's got some spaceships in it or some shit.
That was sick.
Death Star comes flying past.
Yeah.
You know, they're waving at the viewport. Hey, doing well.
Like, help us.
You know what I mean? Like
us up.
that. I reckon would be my number one. Would be to see. I mean, I think I gave the numbers in a previous podcast, but it's something like 2.5 billion years away.
Oh yeah.
That's how long it's going to take it to get here.
Yeah.
But it's coming.
Yes. It is.
So, I think that would be number one for me, because I'd love to see some sci-fi shit like that. The Andromeda Galaxy just flying towards it. And what would that even look like? To the human eye, could you see it? And then...
You like, definitely.
Because you know when you go out into like places with no light pollution, there's like a cluster of stars in the sky. There's like a certain cluster you can see. I don't know what it's called, but you can see just them all clustered together. It looks kind of like a cloud.
Yeah, I know.
But then when you go right out to like outback Australia, let's say, you can really see it. You're like, holy shit! Like it's, you know, I wonder if it's like kind of just like that, but supersized. And it's just, it covers, as you get closer and closer, it just covers the night sky, and the whole sky is just like, there's no space between stars. So our night sky is just white.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
There's actually there's a video on YouTube I watched ages ago now, but someone edited, like, imagine if instead of the moon, in the moon sort of position and spot, if we had one of the other planets, and they sort of did this, obviously like it's all edited and shit, but like how it would look like from where we are, because you know, you look at the moon at night, it's quite small, like it's not that big, but then you put a fucking planet, I don't know, any of the other planets there, and it's just holy shit. It's insane.
The size difference.
Yeah.
Well, then we'd start orbiting that, wouldn't, like if you put Jupiter there, wouldn't we start orbiting Jupiter? Because we're not bigger than Jupiter. Like we'd have to start orbiting
well,
Jupiter.
I think yeah, and Jupiter would still orbit the sun,
and
so we'd be like the moon. Yeah,
but then how do you? Is there an actual?
Unless it gets sucked in and it's too strong,
and we just get crushed in the.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how close it is and how strong their gravity is. Like the moon's gravity is not.
What's the difference between a moon and a planet, though? Is it made out of different shit, or is it just like atmosphere? Can a planet orbit another planet? I wonder. Because I think the reason a moon is a moon... No, what the fuck? That doesn't work, though, because isn't the moon Io, one of Jupiter's moon Io, and it's like a water planet? Without an atmosphere, nothing stays... Wait, what? I don't know.
That's why we're not a scientist.
No, gravity keeps it in. It doesn't need an atmosphere to stay there.
Well, yeah, for sure. All planets have gravity. Right?
Yeah. It's not the atmosphere that keeps water in, right?
No, it's the gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without gravity, the water would just go into space.
Well, yeah, there wouldn't be any water, right?
Yeah, right. So we could still orbit a bigger planet then.
Yeah.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
Imagine if we were the moon of a planet and we thought we were a planet. Well, we basically probably are to the sun anyway.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
How would you do it? Would you
me?
be kind of the same?
Man, I'd want to get fucked by aliens. But not literally, but I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think it'd be pretty cool. Well, yeah, it depends, I guess.
They might have real good technology and ideas. They're very progressive.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just super unprogressive. They come down here with cages and whips and just abuse us.
Fucking slave.
They go back to the fucking medieval days. We just become their slave species.
They treat us like how we treat cows and shit.
Dude, they're just like they're just a full slut species, and they go traveling the galaxy to enslave a species for sexual pleasures and shit.
They have their own like island.
How terrifying would that be?
Island and shit.
An Epstein planet.
Yeah.
They just cut us off the planet. Fuck that. So you wanna meet aliens?
Yeah. I would too. Fucking sick. Like it'd be scary, but I don't know if I was. If I was gonna experience the death of this world, I want it to be by something I don't know. I feel like if it's just like
You want to do a
you know,
Hitchhiker's Guide style, where they're like, "Come aboard our ship," and you watch the Earth explode.
no, I'll die with the Earth. I don't care. But like, I wouldn't want to be like on my Facebook one day and NASA's like, "Oh shit, there's a giant asteroid about to hit. GG, you can't do shit." You know what I mean? Like, I'd be.
Well, that's
I feel
what
like that
scares
would
me the
such
most,
a big letdown. Like,
What do you
really?
even do as well? Like,
You
you're
can't
just
do
like,
shit.
oh,
Well, if the sun farts out a large flare, we discussed this in the last episode. It takes 8 minutes for the photons to reach us anyway. So, what are you gonna do in 8 minutes?
and that flare
Can't do
also probably
shit.
wouldn't even have to hit us for it to kill us. Like, the closer it would get just get hotter and hotter and hotter and
Oh
hotter.
yeah, we just
Like, by the time
we
it
just
touched
get
us,
cooked.
well, by the time it touched the planet, we'd probably already been
Yeah.
fucking dead. Like, that'd be nuts. But yeah, yeah, meeting aliens. You'd want to meet aliens though, kind of like us though, able to communicate.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah,
you just
yeah,
met
yeah.
something that's an alien, but like you can't even, you have no common ground at all. It would just be like, well, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
You'd want because what's stopping there from being a species out there, a civilization that doesn't communicate?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like,
Well, I mean,
like
they
why
could
does something have to
communicate.
follow around our kind of like our line of like we're such a social species where we have to kind of communicate with others and
But I feel like in order to expand and in order to sort of have dominance
Yeah, you're
in
right,
your
actually.
like you need to, you know what I mean? Then why don't other animals sort of
yeah, because if they can't communicate, they're probably not going to expand out together.
Exactly.
And it's not like
They're
one,
just gonna
one
do their
living
own
creature's
shit.
going to be like, I'm taking over.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so I think that'd be a bit. I mean, what do we know? We're just talking out of our
Well, that's
asses,
what's fun.
anyways.
Of course not. We have no idea what's going on, bro. I mean, yeah, well, most likely though, like after watching that Civilizations video we watched, it's like, if they are out there, it's just unfortunately we're so far apart that we're probably never gonna.
And also, what makes like, you know, we always think they're gonna be, you know, in every movie you watch, every alien is alien invasion. They're bad, right? If they are super intelligent and they see us as a dumb little creature, like how we look at a cow and we're like, cool, I can take your baby, I can get your milk. Why wouldn't they do that to us? Just put us in a bunch of cages.
Well, that's what happens in most movies, doesn't it?
And then they just fucking milk us.
Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah.
Probably though.
Makes you think, eh?
Well, that's the kind of
Because I feel like we would do that.
we do that.
Like, if we went out and found
That we
another
had
civilization,
power over.
and we're stronger than them, and we see their resources, and Earth is getting fucked, what are we gonna do? We're gonna fucking go in there, fuck shit up, take over. That's what humans do, man. We do that to each other. Why wouldn't we do that to another fucking living thing? We don't care about most animals. We don't care about. I mean, yeah, we care about dogs. Like, if you go out on the street and try to sell dog meat, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's because we're fucking weird.
But then, hey, you want a kilo of chicken wings? Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like,
Legit.
It's like we have our own morals and
That's where it gets so complex. It's like you find another civilization, there'd be so much to learn about them and what the differences are there. That'd be cooler. I reckon that'd be.
interesting.
Imagine if you could like find they could. I think we talked about this before, but they could like give you one secret, or not even a secret, but just like one thing we don't know about the universe. Like definitely don't know, or even we've speculated on, and they give you this is exactly the way it is, and then you have because most science is based off of theory and speculate very very research speculation, but it's not like we know this 100%. We don't know what gravity is. We don't know what dark matter is. We know, or we think we know it's there, and you know gravity is there. It does this what we've called gravity.
But where does it come from?
But where does it come from? How does it made? We don't really know much. It's like imagine if the aliens came and were like, this is what gravity is.
And they can just make gravity, like how we make laptops.
Like they're just there on a spaceship, and they drop a little gravity ball that's the size of like nothing, like the point of a pin, and they just drop it in this little bit of space. They fly away, and like C4, they hit the button, and then suddenly the gravity just starts, and it sucks in all this matter and creates
And
a
that
planet.
creates... It
Creates a
takes
star.
millions of years, but that's what it... What if we're part of someone's freaking science project or something?
Very smart person or creature.
But, like, it could have just been... You know what I mean? They just put a bunch of shit in there, and life
See what
evolves
happens.
over time.
Yeah, it's like the Rick's battery in his space car.
Well,
Remember?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
When he's like, "All right, Morty, we're gonna go fix the space battery," and he's like, oh, "Okay, Rick," and he's like, he presses the thing, they teleport into the battery, and there's a whole civilization there, running the energy to his battery through a technology that he gave them. So that he then can have the power of his car. And then the scientist inside his car battery created another multiverse to give them power, which makes Rick's thing redundant. And Rick gets the shits, destroys his multiverse, and then comes back. Oh, it's just like the most mind-blowing shit. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing. What if our Milky Way, what if everything we know of, the Andromeda Galaxy, the Milky Way, is, just a little energy thing? Like, all the energy we supply is, like, barely enough to give God his fucking iPhone charge.
Because like when you think about it, like if you get the right ingredients, and let's say you get, I don't even know, you could just get anything, put it in a fucking bucket of, put it in a container or something. You leave it long enough, there's gonna be bacteria building in there. There's gonna be shit. Something happens to it. Nothing ever stays still. You know what I mean?
But in space, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
no, but I'm saying like that could be with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what if...
Well, that is what happened. We just watched that video of,
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
what is it, the history of the universe? What was it?
Yeah, the entire history of the universe.
Whatever. And it just shows us starting from, like, little micro... Like, the planet was on freaking fire for billions of years. And suddenly there's an ice age. And then during the ice age, there's all these microbes in the ocean. These single-cell organisms that turn into multi-cell organisms. The ice age stops. Suddenly oxygen's being pumped out into the universe, into the Earth. And then things become so complex, and there's like little creatures that are actually like living, as we say, they got meat on their body and they're doing shit. And it's just like, there's no blueprints for that stuff. That just happened.
Yeah.
And it just happened because that was the only way it could happen. Because.
Just so many things had to fucking line up.
But they lined up because that's just the way it worked. I'm sure that process maybe was attempted by cells so many times and just, fuck, it didn't work. The planet was on fire for too much. Like, it's like everything had to be... I wonder how rare life actually is, and that's why we can't find any other life. Because it's so rare
for everything
that
to
anything
be
gets past...
perfectly in the right amount, to be in the right amount.
Have you seen a video on the Great Filter?
No, I haven't.
No, there's this thing called the Great Filter that scientists talk about. It's like this great filter that there's like... as things are evolving, nothing gets past the Great Filter. Everything dies when they get to the Great Filter. This is why it's called the Great Filter. It filters everything. Nothing gets past it. The thing is, are we behind it now, or are we still coming towards the filter? You know what I mean? Is it so rare that life turns up like us, like we, that our species has come this way and we've developed so-called intelligence and we can build this, whatever. Are we beyond the filter now? Is that why that we're the only thing here? Everything else has died before this filter. This filter has filtered out everything.
It's like trial and error. New soil,
and suddenly it's like, click.
They're dead. New, they're dead.
Holy shit, we're here. Yeah. And for us, it's not a big deal. But for the overall universe, if someone could observe this, they would be like, holy fuck, like this is a great day for science or whatever.
But I feel like if dinosaurs had consciousness, they would have maybe thought the exact same. Yeah, cool, we're here now, like we're dominating this planet, and then next minute they're fucking gone. Like that can easily happen to us. So I feel
I think that will happen to us because there's nothing that separates us from the universe. The planet's still in the same freaking spot.
Yeah.
What's stopping an asteroid doing the same thing? The dinosaurs are around for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're around for a long time. That's what I mean. Like, what's the difference between dinosaurs and us? How come dinosaurs were the dominant species for that long, and then suddenly the asteroid hit, and now we're the dominant species? Like the dinosaurs are just a different strand of evolution of this of the cells of whatever the fuck.
And then it was like a reset button, and then
that didn't work. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, how the fuck does it?
So, like, if something was to happen to us and the world is still here, let's say we get hit by a meteor, like you said, and we're all wiped out, but the world is still here, the sun is still here.
It probably started.
Will there be enough time until before the sun dies out?
Yes.
Will there be enough time for another evolution? Because it doesn't just happen. You know what I mean? It takes a very.
Or even if it
very
doesn't,
long
there's
time.
definitely going to be. Actually, you're right. Maybe. What if we're the last species our sun gives life to? You know what I mean? Like by the time we die, there is not enough time for another life, like another dominant species to develop on Earth. The sun explodes, and then, you know, like another sun could replace it, but it's like that sun that we existed with doesn't exist anymore, and therefore we can never exist ever again. Like, that's pretty wild. Another sun can turn up, but like once that sun supernovas, our sun supernovas, I think all of our planets are going to be destroyed. Like, it's a big explosion, right? Big fire explosion, you know, or it doesn't destroy all the planets, but it sends them flying out into space, and then I don't know, they go somewhere else, but that'd be pretty nuts.
And what's also mind blowing is the fact that we're all come from the same sort of place, so we're all sort of connected in a very strange way. Like, we're connected to this land that we're in, but we're also connected to, like, every living thing is also connected to one another because we all sort of come from the same place.
Yeah, stardust.
So, well, yeah, exactly.
Star stuff or whatever you call it.
Dinosaurs or every other animal, like even Honey here, just taking a nice little nap on her bed, right? We're all we're part of the same thing, just different. You know what I mean?
Just existing.
Yeah.
Does Honey know how? Let's just imagine for a sec. I don't want to speak for Honey, but she's pretty stupid sometimes. But does she think or does she have no conscious at all of it, that we are complex and advanced in her eyes? Like, she's like, these guys are fucking crazy. Or is she so embedded in our world already, where all this stuff is
like
as normal to her as it is to us, that she just doesn't ever think about it? She's like, this is just the way it is. Whereas in that video, an ant, if it were to suddenly develop consciousness and see us, I'm not saying ants don't have consciousness, I'm just saying, can ants observe and remember, oh shit, this is what this is? They're kind of, in our whatever studies, we think they're just instinctual, they're following their instincts, most creatures are. But if they observe us and they see us and they suddenly go, holy shit, these are like gods. Like, look what they're doing. They're building shit. You know, we build stuff. We build little ant mounds, but they build this fucking buildings and shit. And it's like, you know, I mean,
they don't have architects. They don't go to school. They have their own queens. Like,
they've got their own systems, don't they? Like, school's our thing, but what do they have for that? They probably have their own thing somewhere. But then again, it's like, how do animals understand how to do things? You can't, like, the parents don't usually teach everything to it, but it's like most things are instincts. It's like, you just know how to do this. How the fuck does a fish or a shark, you know, once they're birthed, they just know how to swim? You know what I mean?
Humans are actually
take time to learn how to walk.
Yeah.
But a fish just comes down and knows how to swim.
Yeah, we're nothing. Like, if, you know, you give birth to a child, you can't just be like, all right, cool, you're on your own. A horse gives birth. That horse is walking and running after half an hour.
Snakes and crocodiles, they give birth and they're on their own from the moment they're born. Like, literally.
But then there are some animals, like some birds, right? You know, they'll hatch and then they'll be just chilling because they can't fly. So the mum will go and get food.
Like penguins especially. They take care of the baby for a while.
Exactly.
Well, there are lots of species, though, that look after... Well, most mammals have that thing because they might have 1 or 2 babies max. So they really do have to look after that child. You know, like a fish has like 1 million kids.
Fucking seahorses. Have you ever seen
popping out like 50 kids?
Yeah, they just go like fucking just baby after baby. And the
males carry on.
Yeah, they give birth. That's pretty freaky too, eh?
It's intense, man. Like, the female gets pregnant, but then she passes them to the male, and somehow he then takes them, raises them, farts them out. That's
crazy. Do you think if we were to find an alien life, do you think you'll be like, oh my god, it's like, look at this amazing sort of a creature, or would it just be like every other sort
We've seen all this before.
Yeah. Like, would it just be a different version of an animal that we've already have?
Let's say you saw an octopus. Okay, you've seen an octopus here on Earth. Yeah. Let's say you go out into space and you see an octopus. You wouldn't go, that's an octopus. You'd go, what the fuck is this? And let's say it's huge.
Yeah.
Let's say it's really big.
Flying and shit.
And it's floating through space.
Yeah.
You know? And
Well, how
got
many
it's got a
brains did
third
you say?
eye.
They had like nine brains or something?
And this one's
like
got
4
50
hearts
brains.
or something? Fucking hell. That's crazy.
Fuck me. And you go inside the octopus, and it's a civilization inside the octopus. The octopus is like this living planet.
Yeah, that's wild.
I think that's a crazy shit. Fuck me.
You're probably dead.
Well, I'll move on to some of this stuff I took down about these videos I watched, just because some of the numbers are mind blowing. Not that they ever actually get through. I'm like, oh wow, look at this number, and then my head's like, whatever, because I can't comprehend it, you know. And I feel like that's a lot of things that listeners might do as well.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't even know what that like.
Well, what is a billion?
Well,
like,
good thing I wrote down how many zeros that is.
9?
Just to give, a for billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
12.
Yeah. 12.
Because million is 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, how does it work? Anyway. So our observable universe. I wish we had charts and shit. We should do something up here, like a whiteboard, and we can like draw shit on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Actually.
Holy fuck, we actually should. We should get rid of this, just have a whiteboard and we draw like planets and cool shit. I'm not a scientist, we'll put it across there.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah.
We should do
have
that.
the name of the podcast.
Fuck yeah.
There we go. See, look at us.
Dude, we should probably...
Look at Till coming up with shit.
And like each episode's different.
Yeah, and we'll write the name of
shit.
the episode 13.
Okay, we've done
There we go.
Too bad that's only a YouTube thing though. No one watches that
no
shit.
one watches that shit.
Yeah, whatever.
I had a friend, my friend yesterday. He's like, you should at least watch it. Like he goes, your YouTube videos. He goes, it's got no views. He's like, you should at least click on your own video to have one video. I said, no, fuck it, I don't care.
I'm not doing that shit. That's so dumb. You've already subscribed to it.
I already gave myself a review on iTunes. That's enough.
Really great stuff.
Oh, these guys are
5 star.
excellent.
Jesus. Anyways,
yes.
So the observable universe in our very wise scientist and smart people world of knowledge. I actually don't know what it is, but it's what we are able to observe through distance, or like how far we can send out probes and still get shit back, or I don't know. It's pretty actually big. If you look at the scale, when I've seen the scale, like someone do a video on it, I'm like, how the fuck have we actually, like how the fuck have we gone out that far? But it's like we've sent, probes and telescopes and shit, really just keep going.
Yeah.
And they still send images back. So we kind of get an idea of where things are at. It's big. The observable universe is very big. These are some numbers, right? Mm-hmm. So as we said before on this video we just watched, it said the observable universe has been around, is about 13 billion years old. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't know how they measure that. But humans have ways of measuring stuff like carbon dating and shit. They measure the carbon.
Well, as far as I know, the way they
quantity or something,
like the way they can tell the age, because when you look at space, because how far it takes for the light to travel, right? We know how fast light travels, right?
300,000 kilometers
per second or something.
Per second,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
300,000 kilometers per second.
Yeah. So when you observe like really far away, you're actually looking at the past. Because of
that's how they gauge the age, though?
Yeah. Because how long it takes for light to sort of travel, and I mean obviously there's a lot more to it. It's not as simple as that.
I'd actually like to find out how they do that.
But as far as I know, because we know how long it takes for light to travel, they can sort of determine. Yeah.
Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah.
That makes sense. That's
so when you observe something that's far away, you're actually seeing the past, because that light is only reaching you now.
So if the light takes exactly 1 second to reach you, so it's okay. No. If a planet is 300,000 kilometers away, it should take 1 second for light to get there.
Yeah.
That's the speed of light. It should take that. Anything beyond, let's say double that. Let's say it's 600,000 kilometers away. It take 2 seconds, so on and so on.
It's like this. You see if you see a lightning strike, right? You see it, and then the sound gets to you a couple of seconds later, and like depending on how long after you see the lightning, you hear it, you can determine how far away it is.
You're counting the seconds.
Yes.
Per the second, that's the amount of kilometers.
That's
like 1
right.
second
So
per kilometer.
it's exactly the same sort of concept.
Yeah,
so when you're
'cause
looking at it,
I think it's like when you look into the night sky, however many of those lights, those stars,
they're all, most
you
of
might
them,
not
they
even
say,
know don't exist.
well, they say most of them is probably dead
Yeah.
because they're so far away.
That is just the light still getting here. And eventually one day, however long that may take, it's just suddenly not there anymore.
Yeah.
And only astronomers are going to know that because they obviously observe the universe. And
But in reality, it hasn't been there for a very, very long time anyways.
But that is crazy.
But it's like, okay, imagine, you know, I just gave the lightning example, right? You know, you see it and then you hear it. Imagine you hear it 1,000 years later. That doesn't mean that lightning just happened then. Even though you're hearing it now, it happened 1,000 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. What you're seeing now, that light isn't actually there now. It was there. You're only just seeing it now. Like how you're only just hearing that lightning. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. It's kind of like if I draw it, it's kind of like here's the planet there, and there's the light rays, like, you know, coming, and here's Earth, right? And it's however far, and then suddenly the planet explodes, and it disappears. The planet's gone anymore, and then this, as my tip of my pen is the light coming, right? So it gets to Earth, and then all this is gone. But that
It's
all
still
this in between, the planet's still gone, the planet's still gone, the planet's still gone, and then suddenly
Yeah.
it's here, and then it's all gone.
Yeah.
That's what's so bizarre.
Magic.
So half the stars in the sky just might not even be there.
Dead.
You know what I mean?
And most of the stars you see are actually bigger than the sun as well. I don't know if you
Well,
knew
some of
that.
them shine bright as fuck. I don't know
Yeah.
which ones they are because haven't studied astronomy or anything, but I'd like to know which ones. I know Venus is apparently supposed to be one that shines very, very bright, or Mars. I don't know which one.
Speaking of astrology, sorry, I'm gonna
No, that's
derail
all good.
you a little bit. Do you
these are all
believe
part of
in
it.
astrology?
As in like moon signs and shit like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, my family's pretty massive into it.
Yeah.
And lots of my friends that I know, and they love doing like birth charts and shit like that. And I find it very interesting.
Yeah, like because
But I do struggle sometimes to believe it because I'm like, how the fuck do you measure this? How do you? I'm very science brainy sometimes, but I do believe in that shit.
But like I don't. Yeah, it's like I don't
I try
believe
not
it,
to,
but at
but
the
I
same
do.
time I don't. Yeah, like I do and I don't. You know what I mean? Because it's like, maybe there is some sort of a connection with, you know, the stars and everything.
Why would there not be?
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Because we come from
it's
there.
such woo-woo shit. It's like, bro, you're a fucking dirty little human monkey on the planet. All these planets and stars and shit outrank you by a fucking quadrillion years.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you to say
Yeah.
this doesn't work?
Yeah.
God's like, God being a star somewhere just
Yeah.
sends an asteroid your way. Fuck you then. You know? He just goes like this.
Throws
shoots
a
little-
marble.
It's like this fucking big and it just goes through the earth. And the earth just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, everything's gone.
Everything's gone. Fucking
Everything we've ever done.
Well, it is going to be gone one day.
Gone.
Like every human is going to die eventually. Or, I don't know, eventually unlocking the key to life. But you and me are probably going to die.
Oh yeah.
Most
for
likely
sure.
you and I are going to die. Like you and I are going to die. Everything else has a lifespan. The sun has a lifespan.
Would you want to live forever?
No.
I wouldn't.
No, I'd get bored, man.
Yeah. Fuck that.
I get bored.
You know.
We already get bored enough some days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some days you're like, fuck, I just want to go to bed. Wake up the next morning.
And not wake up.
Jesus. God, okay, man. But it's true. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, no.
I
Fuck
couldn't
that.
live forever.
Nah, everything has to have a beginning and an end. I reckon.
I mean, if I came across a being who's like, I could grant you eternal life, or I can grant you however long you want to spend here, and I'd ask him, I'd be like, well, how long have you been alive? And he or she or whatever it is says, I've been here forever. I'm like, well, how do you rate it? And like, it's just dead to everything.
You look at Google reviews.
Yeah, it's just this being is just dead to everything because it's seen everything.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have emotion anymore. It just has this thing you can't even comprehend. This thought process that is just, if you put it in your head, you just explode. Your head would actually explode. You physically, your brain couldn't
won't-
take it.
no.
Your brain would just go leak out your ears. You know what I mean? So, but if this being was kind of like, could give me an answer and was like, you know, for you humans, 150 years is a pretty good. After that, you get pretty sick of shit because you see how horrible it all is, and you probably want to get going and get away. And I'm like, yeah, man, give me 135 years. And then he's like, I thought I turned the fucking thing off. I guess they keep playing. Yeah. But then, if he's like, he, whatever the fuck you progressive people. Anyway, God, can't we just go back to the normal?
Just say it.
Fucking
That's it.
it, whatever.
Whatever they identify themselves.
Can I stay
What?
physically healthy?
Oh.
See, that for me, if this creature was like, you can stay physically healthy until you die and nothing happens to you, you don't get any diseases and shit, you can still die, get hit by a car and shit like that, I'd say just give me 90 years.
Yeah.
I don't need more time. Because when you start getting older and you start losing muscle ability, and like, you know, you can't really do a lot of stuff, you're like 80 years old, you're not going to do fucking jumping jacks. You're probably not going to be able to do very physical stuff. But then if this being was like, I can give you, you know, immunity to aging and all that stuff, I'd just be like, just give me 90 years and I'll see it all. But then what if you got to 85 years and you were really addicted to what's going on? You were like, life is so fucking good, I can do anything. I'm still young and I'm 85 years old and I've got a body like when I was 20 and I can still do all this crazy shit. All these things, when we wonder about things like that, it's like we don't know what it would be like because no one's experienced that. So when you wish for things, it's like in a lot of Disney movies or movies where it's like, I'll grant you one wish, and it's all super sketchy, and it's like, make sure you tell me your wish perfectly, and the guy doesn't. He's like, oh, I want to be famous, and then the way he becomes famous is like by killing himself in some fucked up way. You know what I mean? Like the genie or the person, the creature giving wishes out is like very deceptive, and he's like, yeah, I'll give you a wish, just might not be how you want it. You have to state it very perfectly. So it's like, we can't know what it would be like. You know what I mean? Asking for anything.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure, man.
So this guy finds a lamp, right? Rubs it. Genie comes
lamp.
out. Yeah. A genie comes out.
Aladdin,
Yeah. And
Love that movie.
Genie's like, all right, I'm going to give you 3 wishes, right? But be careful. He goes, whatever you wish, your wife gets double. Right? He's like, all right, cool. I want $20 million. He's like, you sure your wife's going to get 40 million? He's like, yeah, fuck it. All right, cool. Gets his first wish. His wife gets a lot of money too. Anyways, his second wish, something stupid again, right? He's like, I want to be able to be with anyone I want to be, right? But like, hey, look, your wife is going to have double the amount. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to, like, are you sure? He's like, yep. And then he's like, all right, last wish. Make sure you make it count. He's like, all right, cool. Genie, beat me half to death.
Jesus, man. Who's the smart one now? That is fucking brilliant.
So she's dead. He gets
Do
all
I
that
get all
money.
this shit?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
Pretty good at it.
That genie would have just been like, fuck. I've been outsmarted by a mortal. That's a great story. That's hilarious. Beat her half to death. Oh my God, that's fucked up. That's a good story.
Yeah.
I like those little like twister stories.
Yeah. There's another one, but I won't tell you that one. It's a bit sexist, so I won't go there. I'll tell you after.
Dude, I'm glad. Good thing that like barely anyone listens to this podcast. Because imagine if we were like a big podcast. I guarantee you say something like that, and people are like, "Oh my God, fuck, you hate women." All this shit.
It's a fucking joke.
It's a fucking joke, idiot. Yeah. Well, you can just change the story. You make that wish, your husband gets. You just change it. People go, yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I know, right? No one would give a shit.
Yeah, fuck
no one
that
would
sexist pig. It's like, well, he didn't know what. He did nothing. Oh man, are bad. I'm so sick of it, man. We live in the wrong generation. Man, go back to 1940s. That's how it's meant to be. No,
I'd go back like 1940s. He said, no, I wouldn't go to the 40s, bro. Didn't they have a World War 1 and 2 and shit back then? No, fuck that.
Yeah, that's where you become a man.
No. Go to the hippie times or something.
70s.
Yeah,
60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be tranked out on drugs all day. You'd be at Woodstock, bro. Go to Woodstock. What's the famous one? Is that 83? 1983. No. Ooh, shit. I fucking...
What?
The famous Woodstock, like the Woodstock. Which one do they talk about?
Fuck, I have no idea.
Maybe it's 79. I can't remember. When there's like just like 500,000 people in the crowd or
Yeah,
something
yeah, I know.
crazy. You know,
Everyone's just
Jimi
fucking
Hendrix
doing
played.
LSD and
Everyone's just tripping.
MTV,
Hendrix
yeah.
was on. He was tripping apparently.
yeah.
He was like playing the guitar and he was on like LSD or acid or something. He was just like.
Everyone's on DMT, smoking pot, shit.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been a
Acid.
crazy. I mean, I talk to my grandfather all the time about that because he was part of that.
Yeah.
And he did that.
Yeah.
He was like the leader of the hippie movement in like Mullum and Byron Bay.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, he would get fucking beaten up by the cops like all the time because he had long hair.
Well,
You know,
that's
they'd beat him
hilarious.
up.
That's hilarious.
It's the good old days, man. Well, there's nothing to worry about except the cops.
Mm.
Actually, we're back there. Never mind.
Mm. Speaking of beating up, I almost got jumped last night.
What the fuck?
I'm not even kidding. So me and a bunch of friends, we went out at night, just sort of chilling by the river, and we're just sort of laying down, just chilling, right? And all of a sudden you hear this group of kids, like teenagers, not kids, like I don't know, 20 of them, riding their scooters and everything, come by, and then this guy with his shirt off, like tatted up and everything, quite a built guy. He's like, "Oi!" He's like, "Any of you named Nathan?" I'm just fucking laying down, just watching the stars and shit.
They
you know?
looking for Nathan.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just look at him, I'm like, what? He's like, "Are you Nathan?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Do I look like a Nathan? Have you seen this fucking beard?" Like, and yeah, they're like full surrounded us and everything, and then they fucked off.
Jesus
Anyways.
Christ, don't want to be fucking Nathan last night.
Yeah.
Fuck
So then
that.
we were walking around looking for Nathan. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Nearly got bashed by a gang of kids.
Yeah.
No,
I
you
would've
do
done-
want to stay away from kids like that.
Yeah.
I know the fucking.
Yeah.
We know the type. They were
Yeah.
fucking frizzy crackheads, bro.
Yeah.
Frizzy fuckheads. Oh, you took me off my. You took me away. I don't know if it will be the same now. Where was I?
Things will never be the same again. Well, you were talking
Some
about
space crap, right?
Yes.
Well, I think I was talking about the observable universe being huge, being old,
Mhm.
and then here we go. So, up to 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, and a galaxy is what we live in, the Milky Way.
And there's so many, millions of.
Star systems inside a Milky Way,
Mm.
like
And this-
other suns, other stars and planets and shit inside the Milky Way. So 2 trillion of these single galaxies. We are one of those 2 trillion galaxies. Yay for us, right?
Mm.
This is made up of something like 20,000 billion stars. So that's a number. 20,000 billion stars. Stars, I assume a star is a sun. That's what I know. That's what you know, right? Star is a sun. That means out of that 20,000 billion. So this is so sets of 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3. It's like
21.
fucking 21, right?
Yeah.
That's how many zeros there are in that. That there. So 20,000 billion stars. Each one of those 20,000 billion stars could have a planet system by them. And then in the Milky Way alone,
40 billion,
I
right?
believe something like 40 billion Earth-like planets.
That's
one of those 2 trillion galaxies. We are one of those 2 trillion galaxies. So
40 billion in one, and there's 2 trillion.
So 40 billion Earth-like planets in the habitable zone of their stars, which we are in. So this isn't even counting all the other planets. This is just counting Earth-like planets. 40 billion times 2 trillion.
Yeah.
What
If we put
what
that
even
in
is
the
that
it would
number?
give a
It's probably
fucking-
quadrillion or something. It probably like that E gave you
something.
error too much. So I know giving those kind of numbers sometimes doesn't impact you as much because you kind of just can't even understand.
No.
But shit's big out there, and that's crazy to me. Therefore, how the fuck can we be the only ones here? Like we were talking about the aliens. It's like, where the fuck are they?
We're so spread apart.
But yeah, things are so distant that there could be so many civilizations, so many planets with life on them just living their way out there, living their way like we're doing our thing here, you know? But then I think, I don't know if we talked about it at the beginning. I'm blanking. My head's spinning so much. But it was like, if we find aliens somewhere else, if conflict switches from aimed at each other to going, fuck, there's hostile alien species out there. We got to band together as a human race. It's the humans versus the fucking blobs or whatever. You know what I mean? Because right now, it's like we don't have anything to direct it. Unfortunately, we're always going to have shitty energy and everyone's going to want to fight each other or pick on each other or something. Wars have been replaced with the PC culture, the cancel culture. You know what I mean? We got to get these people, you know? Oh, we're going to invade Iraq. Why? They're bad. We just want to get the oil. You know what I mean? It's like we've always got some agenda to do something. And I reckon if aliens did show up and were like, we're going to fuck you, we'd be like, oh shit.
You reckon everyone would believe it, or like...
Of course not. Trump would be like, aliens, and the alien would be on the TV being like, bro, we're here to
I
get
reckon
you.
Trump would believe it. I'm talking about like... Yeah. Man,
Trump said the coronavirus is fake for so long. He was like, yeah, it's fake. And then he comes out, he's like, it's the kung fu.
Yeah, I'm talking shit.
Yeah. But
so he might say the same thing.
A large majority of people just believe everything he says.
Yeah,
you know, so he goes, yeah, right. Aliens, whatever. And everyone goes, yeah, what are these? You know, Americans go, yeah, whatever. Aliens, they don't exist. And the aliens are here sending us transmissions going, yeah, we like your water. We want to take your water. We don't have any water. We ran out of water, so we're going to come take your water. And we're all like, yeah, we better, I think this is real. I think we should do something about it. And then there'll be conflict amongst the humans going, this isn't real. Oh, what a hoax, the greatest hoax of all time. And then before we know it, our oceans are drained and we're just stuck here on a dry planet. And
just this large fucking vacuum comes in, just sucks everything up.
Yeah, it's like a little TV show. It's like we're arguing amongst ourselves, this isn't real, it's not going to... Next scene, we're just all looking up in the sky and there's a giant balloon just lifting away with all that water into space.
Like, we come
and
in peace.
And then he just hyperdrives out here and all our water's just gone and we're just like...
We're like, what now?
Oh, fuck. And then it just turns into chaos and everyone starts killing each other.
I can see that
how it would go, yeah. That's like a Rick and Morty episode, man. Well, Morty, we've got to switch timelines again. Just switching timelines all the time. Oh my God. And then another thing I wrote down, because I'm curious about this, if there are aliens out there, I mean, we're already talking about this kind of, but like, if they are out there, are they like us? Do they use energy like us? We from a Stone Age, like way back in the Stone Age, have relied on things that produce energy, fire. We moved that into things like machinery, right? We need energy, electricity, you know, gas powered, whatever, petrol, stuff like that, energy to move things, make things work. Lights on, we've got to burn coal to do that. It's like we require a lot of energy to run the things the way we need them or the way we've developed to using stuff, right? The word that I think I saw in that video and that you watched as well, it's like, are they greedy and expansionists? You know, like us. Yeah. We're greedy. We need the new thing. It's like when we're hunter-gatherers, I'm sure there's a lot of the Vikings even, lots of raiding. You know, they raid to get more resources, get more land. Expansionists, greedy. We want more. We got to get more. It's never like, yeah, man, I'm cool with my little plot of land. I'll just stay. No. We got to expand so our children and children's children can have whatever. You got to watch Vikings, man. It'll show you. It's, you know, if they're like that, we probably don't want to meet them. Because they're going to be worse than us. If they can get here, they're so much more advanced than us.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, like you said before, if we are the more advanced species and we go to some planet and we come across another species like us that is greedy and expansionist, but they're a bit less along the evolutionary trail as us, do we just destroy them? Out of fear? Or...
I think because if we do find another life form somewhere, like an alien civilization, you and I aren't going to be the ones deciding what we're going to do. It'll be the world leaders. And what are they going to do? They're going to look what's going to benefit them. You know what I mean? So they're going to be like,
probably enslave them.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not wrong to enslave another species, you know? Oh, we've abolished slavery in the, you know, like slavery is not a thing and, you know... Slavery's wrong. We know this. We got rid of slavery. It's fucking bad. But then you come across another species, does it suddenly become okay?
We already do that with animals now.
Yeah.
With cows and chickens.
And then there'd be a whole group of... There'd be a new hippie movement. We got to save the The blobs, man. The blobs.
They're just one of us,
They're
man.
just one of us. They just
want to live.
We come along and we fuck them up. And then the greedy capitalists are like, nah, man, we're going to keep using them. And they're mining away whatever their planet and sending it back to us. Or, you know, like, I reckon that's more likely that we would, or, you know, whoever makes the decision would enslave them. And it would be a massive, suddenly human rights doesn't exist anymore. Suddenly it's galaxy rights. Suddenly it's like international literally means like fucking galaxy wide as well. Like international laws. It counts for this planet as well, you know?
Yeah, but I doubt we'll even give a fuck about if we were to find anything. Like, wouldn't even give a fuck about the animals here.
Yeah.
Like, why would we give a fuck about, you know, something else that lives somewhere else?
And mostly people would be more afraid than curious.
Yeah.
It's not like even if you and I met aliens, it's not like we want to hurt them, but you'd still be afraid because you don't know what they're gonna do, how they are. So I imagine that fear would just go through the roof, and then we better send a nuke. You know what I mean? It's like what. I reckon that's very human of us.
Like, if this door over here was a portal to another planet that you've never been before, and you walk through it, and the first thing you come across, let's say you find this little animal or this alien creature thing, you're like, okay, cool. When you're first looking at it, you don't know if it's the same like if it has the same intelligence as a dolphin or like a superhuman. You know what I mean?
It would take so much getting used to it.
You just don't know. So what you're going to do, your defense mechanism is going to be up because you're like, I don't know what this fuck is capable of.
All the anthropologists would finally have something to do.
That's true. That is true.
Well, the anthropologists would be like, yes, and we'd send them in. We'd send them in, and they'd be like, oh, you know, how does this all work and shit. Like, we have no idea what could be out there. There could be creatures, like, you know what I mean. Let's say we go through that portal door, and you come across a little creature like honey. Straight away in my head, I'd be like, I probably don't want to take this creature away from its normal habitat, and because, like, in my head, I'm like, I wouldn't want some alien to snatch me out of my world and take me away. How fucking intense and scary would that be? But then this little alien creature could be like, all I want to do and my purpose is to explore the galaxy and explore different things. I'm the first little anthropology dog, you know? And it wants you to, you know, like, there's so many things you just don't even know.
Or
especially if you can't communicate.
Or if something was to... Or if instead of you walking through that door, an alien walks through the portal door and comes here, right? It might see you as, oh, look at this fucking skinny little boy, right? But you could be like, motherfucker, I've got a gun. Boom. Like, they don't know that you're capable of making and creating powerful things. So then you don't know, like, this little creature could be cute and everything, but, like, you could have developed some amazing weapon that can just...
It just hulks out.
You're just gone.
Yeah.
You know, he has like a Pokemon fucking thing.
You remember
Kung
Fu Panda?
Yeah. The first one? I've only seen the first one. Oh, yeah, like that movie. Yeah.
That was one of the greatest moments in the movie where he gets him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
Was it Jack Black? Was it Jack Black?
Yeah, he plays Poe, and then it's just like a nuke.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Honey just gets him and he just evaporates.
Yeah, like you don't know.
Nothing.
You don't know.
Bloody hell. Very interesting though.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly go over the last little thing I got from that video because I kind of it's very erratic because I kind of stopped. There's a thing called I don't know exactly how to say it, Kardashev scale.
Yes. You just watch where there's different levels of...
It's a method of ranking civilizations by their energy use, and this already is very put together by our own understanding. This can only be put together by the fact that we run our own planet and way of life through energy consumption. Even most things on our planet, dude, I'm getting so excited right now. Holy shit, I can feel myself getting so excited. This is crazy. Even things like plants photosynthesize from the sun. That is using the energy of the sun, turning it into food. You know, it turns into sugars and stuff, which then the plant consumes into food, releases oxygen. It allows it to keep going. So everything requires some form of energy. Humans require massive... Our brain is a very inefficient energy user, if you think about it. We need to eat quite a lot to keep our body and brain going, sleep quite a lot. Those things, sleep, eating, drinking, that is a lot of... Those are all energy... how am I trying to say? I can't find the word. They're all energy things, like energy resources. Like they're all resources that help our brain kind of develop and grow. Anyway, this scale, this Kardashev scale, is based on that. That most things in our known vicinity requires energy to go. We have based our society and civilization off requiring energy to make things happen. Anyway,
I feel like if there's no energy, there's nothing.
How do
like
things work?
Yeah, then it's nothingness. I feel like.
You know, because I think the biggest thing for human would be find an unlimited resource. That's something we do not have. Even the sun's not unlimited. You know what I mean? Solar energy is quote unquote unlimited until the sun decides to blow up.
And eventually,
But that's more sustainable than mining all the coal out of our earth. You know. But anyway, so yeah, what's stopping there being a species out there that somehow has a portal in its body somewhere where it just feeds off dark matter? But wait a minute, what if dark matter's not? The universe has an end, even though it's so massive we can't even. It's still expanding, but there is an end at one given point. So I guess forever there isn't. What if gravity could be an energy? Holy fuck.
Well, I mean, it is an energy. It's the creator of planets, right?
Is there an energy out there that is completely
the sun is
unlimited?
created.
Because I don't think so.
Is there an energy that's unlimited?
Completely unlimited. Like if you could find something that is completely like a creature species out there that had access to something that's just infinite, and they didn't have to eat or anything because there was just like a little portal in their chest that just gave them everything they needed, and the portal was getting resources from somewhere that's infinite. What's infinite in our universe? Space. What if space, like literal square spacage, like this in front of me right here, like in between my hands is actual space. We can't see it or touch it. I'm moving through it. What if that was literally a resource? Space.
Yeah, you just can't tap into it.
No, and something is just using that instead of primitive humans who have to eat, shit, and sleep, and piss. You know what I mean? Do all
Well,
that
like
stuff.
plants don't need to eat, right? Like
But they need the sun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
so
how they eat.
like their resource for them to live is different. Like
A lot
we
more
need
better
to eat.
than us, isn't it?
We need to. But then again, you're more capable of. So you're
Doing
more
stuff.
complex.
That's why I require more energy.
So
because I have to move.
So if we get more and more complex, do we require more and more resources?
Yes, I think so. The way we operate, yes.
Yeah.
Because a plant doesn't have to get up and walk. We do.
Yeah.
We you could say are kind of separate from everything. We're an individual thing on this that has to move and walk and talk and do all that stuff. So yes, yeah, like you said, we require heaps more energy than a plant does. And then probably the more and more. I wonder if as technology gets better and better, it's a lot easier to manage that though through technology, like putting in cybernetics or something that's just so much easier to manage.
Will technology be a resource that we will be like we have to rely upon? I wonder in the future.
Well, we kind of do already. Not as a resource.
Like
but
right now you don't need technology to live, right? You can.
No, but the way everything's set up, like we kind of.
If you want to be connected,
we'd be fucked.
Yeah, I know, but you wouldn't die.
No.
You know, you would still be able to live.
Yeah.
But are we going to get to a stage where, with cyberpunk
Style,
like a cyberpunk style of future where technology is so integrated into our own ecosystem, like our own biological ecosystem
in our body, yeah.
Is that going to be something like, not only do you have to eat and sleep and
do
all of that stuff, but also you have to change this battery that goes in the back of your neck every 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, are we going to need more things to be able to... Because we're going to evolve. We're not going to stay like this all the time.
Yeah, as much as people would like to think, we are still in the process of evolving. We haven't stopped evolving.
No, we haven't.
It's just happened so quick.
No, it happens so slow. You don't realize it. You think
I mean all the stuff that's happened recently, like technology.
Oh yes,
has happened so quick that we
yes.
think we've suddenly just exited evolution because
this is part of evolution. Technology is part of evolution.
Come monitor our brains in 1,000 years. Like, there's not been a generation yet that has experienced whatever this shit does to us. Like, there's not a generation yet that has grown really old and experienced. Yours and my maybe the next generation who are like grown up with computers,
into
die
this.
with the computers, it will see how it changes the brain chemistry, you know? Like already a lot of this blue light fucks up your serotonin levels. What if it's changing the sleep patterns of humans, which I'm sure it already is, you know? It's fucking up.
Or your sperm production
Is fucked up from
up.
shit.
You know,
like that's literally one of the programs I run on here. This thing called Flux. It changes the light levels on here, so that it doesn't. So that my serotonin can, so it says, if I'm on this before I go to sleep, I can then go to sleep. You know, and not because the white light apparently fucks your serotonin.
Blue light.
No serotonin goes into your brain. You don't get tired, and then your process of like going to sleep is just ruined. So who knows what the
That's why
effects
they
are of
say
technology.
you should never go on your phone before you go, like, if you know,
And
let's say you
so
go
many
to bed
people
and
do.
then, you know, so many people are on their phone before they go to sleep. Like, that shit can, that's very damaging. But everyone does it.
Yeah,
It's
they say the best thing is to like read a book half an hour before going to bed. It puts you so to sleep, and it does for me. I'm just like, holy shit! You suddenly get so tired. This stuff keeps you ready and awake, and your brain's moving a lot. You start to read something, read a book. I mean, I don't even know how many people read books anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a dying art, isn't it?
Sure is.
Anyway, back to this Kardashev scale. It says that they're in the kind of like general scale things. There's 4 types of categories that civilizations, alien civilizations, can be categorized by. Number 1, so type 1 is us.
Well, yes, but no. Because we were 0.7.
No, but this...
We're almost type 1, right? Isn't that it?
Almost type 1, but
Yeah.
here it says a species that can use the available energy of their home planet.
Yeah, true.
So we're kind of in the process of doing that. Yeah, it was like 0.75 we were at, right? So we're getting there, but we are doing that. We're in the process of doing that. Then a type 2 is able to use the energy of their star and planet system. So that's if we got to the point where we were traveling to every other planet and somehow we had, what do they say, developed a Dyson sphere that went a mega structure that goes around the sun that channels the sun's energy to all the other planets, wherever we are, that gives us unlimited energy again till the sun decides to fucking commit suicide, you know? So that's pretty crazy already. That's where we're headed. That is thousands of years away, though. Or, I don't know, hundreds of years away until we probably land on another planet properly. What do you call it?
I
Colonize another
think it'll
planet.
be even quicker than that.
I think you're right. I think generously you give 500 years. In that time, there will definitely we'll be colonizing Mars, most likely. Who knows? A type 3, able to use the available energy of their galaxy. So that's kind of like almost, in our eyes, God level, right? Yeah. So someone's up there with the Milky Way and he's just, I don't know, is sucking the energy or using whatever the Milky Way is doing as an energy source. Manipulating it, working it, being able to do all that crazy shit, right? And then, I mean, we saw all the other ones like Omega, which is like the infinite version. But these are just the what am I trying to say?
Different level, different stages almost of...
Yeah, but these are the most common ones. Sorry, anything beyond this is pretty crazy. Type 4, able to use the available energy of multiple galaxies. So this is something that is able to access the energy of the Milky Way, the Andromeda Galaxy, whatever other galaxies are around the joint. So it might be using the energy of 10 different galaxies. That's insane.
But it is insane, but it's entirely possible as well.
So these are civilization. These are all energy consumption based civilization groups, basically. You know, like you said, we're almost at one, able to fully harness the resources of our planet. If any other species run off this method, then they would be like us. They've drained their planet of resources, which is what is going to happen to us.
Yeah, eventually.
Then they move on, like we're going to other planets, to find more resources to survive, potentially use the sun as a super energy source. We've already tried to with solar panels and shit, but then we build this, whatever they call it, Dyson sphere that orbits, that kind of circles the sun, kind of encapsulates the sun. The sun's in the middle, and we build this thing that goes around it that uses the sun's energy. Like, you know, the sun if you built something around the sun, the heat that would be going to that thing would be insane. So then that could turn into like massive amounts of energy. We harvest that in some way. The sun's not being damaged. We're just using its natural energy, right? It's not like we're sucking the sun dry of energy. That energy's coming out anyway. We feel the heat, the sun rays. We get that anyway. Why not use it?
You're just being a bit more efficient.
Just being more efficient
with the energy that's available.
If we ever require that amount of energy, which is insane, but we might, right? And then type 3, able to use the galaxy. If we suddenly find out how to traverse through spacecraft or whatever the whole galaxy, and we've suddenly charted the whole galaxy, like back in the day, fucking sailors charted the planet, charted the coastlines of different countries. We do that with the Milky Way galaxy, and we know all its corners and know all the planets inside it. And by that point, I reckon we find life. We find something else in the Milky Way. Like they said, what was it here? So 2 trillion galaxies, blah, blah, blah. 40 billion Earth-like planets in a single galaxy. So if we do traverse the whole Milky Way, we're going to find these 40 billion other Earth-like planets that could have life on them. And then stage 4, type 4, able to harness the energy of multiple galaxies, which is we've conquered the Milky Way. Suddenly we need more. Can you believe that? If we needed more than fucking one Milky Way? I'm not even talking like we've moved past one star. There's something, 20,000 billion stars in our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Moving on to a stage 4 means we've exhausted the resources of 20,000 billion suns, and their planet systems. And, the 40 billion Earth-like planets.
We've been around for a very long time.
We've been around for so fucking long.
And there'd be so many of us. Because it's not like you're just like, yep, everyone hop on a ship, we're going here, and then we're going here. Like, there'd be so many of us where we'd have people everywhere.
It's fucking mind-blowing. So you put 2 galaxies, let's say we're at this stage 3.2 or something, right? Or 3.5. We're moving on to using multiple galaxies. We're using the Milky Way and Andromeda. Or by this time, they probably collided. Actually, by this time they probably collided.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're using that. That's times 2 of every single one of these things. You know? 20,000 billion. So that's like 40,000 billion stars. 80 billion Earth-like planets. All this shit times 2 of everything. That's what we're now using. And then just keep adding galaxies. And then it's not like the Andromeda galaxy has the same amount. It might be so much bigger.
Yeah, It is. So isn't it? I thought it was bigger.
Yeah, I think it's much bigger. But then, like they said in this video as well, if there is something at a stage 4 or beyond a stage 5, we would probably see their activity. If they're that advanced, we'd probably be able to see most of that shit, unless we're one of the galaxies that aren't part of their huge empire.
But how do you know we haven't?
Are we like the ant?
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't know.
We just don't understand. You stick a camera inside an ant's fucking colony, right? They don't know it's a it's a camera. They don't even understand what it is. So how do we know that one of the things that you think it's a star, it's not a giant fucking camera they're using to spy on us? You wouldn't have a fucking clue. And if their technology is so advanced, they would just make it look like a natural sort of thing, you know? Like, we make cameras so fucking tiny where even we struggle finding it. You know, like you put hidden cameras and shit.
Do you think, like, David Attenborough makes Blue Planet and all those documentaries about our planet and human species and shit like that, do you think we're out there in a documentary about the species of the galaxy?
It could very well be.
Some alien species is making documentaries and we're in there somewhere. This primitive species is going along, not knowing what's going on, but they are slowly marching towards doom. You know, it's like we're in this little documentary and these species, like, we are just so clueless.
Well, like you said, with the ants again, we mention ants a lot in this podcast.
Yeah, we do.
But like when you're watching the ants, fuck, I forgot what I was just gonna say. Never mind, keep going.
I love when that happens. When you have an idea and it just blanks, like gone.
It's just gone. There we go.
I was talking about how ants don't know what they're seeing. I'm trying to revamp your ideas, but yeah, ants don't.
Yeah, like okay, yeah. Okay, so when you're observing an ant, right? You think they're just acting by instinct, right? They're
Yeah.
just doing their own thing. If something else is observing us, like how we are observing an ant, why wouldn't they just think the same?
It's true.
Why would everything we do have a reason? We're just doing shit without any rhyme or reason. We're just doing shit. So.
And we think it has a lot of purpose.
Yeah. So like when you look at an ant, you don't know it has conscience. You know, you're like, is it conscience?
It's true.
It's like they might just be looking at us and they don't realize.
No.
That's gonna be loud.
Yeah, guys, we're probably going to stop the podcast here because the neighbours decided to pull out the buzzsaw.
Yep.
Do a bit of. I'm glad they left it that long though. That's brilliant.
How long are we into?
An hour and 10.
Oh, okay.
So
sweet.
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet that's going to be quite loud. Anyway.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks
Alright,
for
cool.
listening, guys. If you are listening,
Yeah,
if you're
we
not, we had a
appreciate
fucking
it.
awesome. That was a fun
Yeah, this was
episode,
fun.
man.
This was fun, and I think that having that break was, in a way, it was good just to.
I'm nervous now. I mean, doing a podcast fortnightly is a big thing. But then doing it weekly, it did kind of get to a point where we're just doing it a little bit. Like, it was a little bit like, oh, we got to find some shit quick. And this time it's just like, you just have
Easy.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think if we ever get to that phase again,
we'll just
take
skip.
a week
We'll
off.
just
Who
skip the week.
cares?
So yeah, guys, if you are super curious about when we're going to release stuff, we don't know now.
Yeah, we no.
So if you're really passionate about our podcast and you want to hear it every week, sorry, mate.
Yeah.
We'll
I mean,
see.
look, I think we will still sort of keep it going the way we have been.
Yeah,
but,
we're not going to stop. It's
No,
just,
but
it's
if it ever gets to a point where we feel like we're a bit drained, because then we don't want that to reflect on the
'Cause it definitely does,
conversations, because it does,
when
right?
you struggle to think of stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, we don't want it to sort of drag ourselves through it like it's, you know.
Yeah, because there is a point where it's like, yeah, you got to stay consistent, and then just beating a dead horse.
Yeah, exactly,
you know?
exactly.
that
So I
now.
think this was in a way, a good break just for us to sort of
Yeah, no, this was super
kick it
enjoyable.
back up again.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you next. Hopefully you learn a lot
Peace.
on this podcast. We had heaps of fun.
Yeah.
So
Take care, guys.
That buzzsaw.